Hi, my name is Mrs. Murdoch and I've got this lovely book to share with you. This book is called Winnie and the Seaside and it's by Valarie Thomas and it's illustrated by Korky Paul. I wonder if we can predict from the title what this book might be about. I think it's about Winnie going to the seaside, and looking at the picture I think she gets a delicious chocolate ice cream and perhaps she gets chased by an octopus. What do you predict the book might be about? Before we start the story, let's read the blurb and find out a little bit more. Winnie at the seaside. Winnie and Wilba are going to the seaside. Winnie loves the water, but poor Wilba doesn't. So while Winnie skips in the sea, Wilba stays on the beach, trying his best not to get wet. Then Winnie's broomstick is swept out on a wave. Will Winnie get it back? What do you think? Shall we read the book and find out? It was a very hot summer. Winnie the Witch felt hot and tired. Wilba her cat felt hot and tired too. I want to swim, Wilba, Winnie said. Let's go to the seaside. Winnie found her beach towel, her beach bag and her beach umbrella. She jumped onto her broomstick. Wilba jumped onto her shoulder and they were off. There were lots of people on the beach, but Winnie found a place for her towel. I think that might have been quite tricky, but she did very well. She put up her beach umbrella and got ready for her swim. Look after my bag and my broomstick, Wilba, Winnie said. She ran into the water. It was lovely in the sea. Winnie splashed through the water and skipped over the little waves. She was having a lovely time. Wilba sat and watched her. He couldn't swim. He didn't like water. He hated getting wet. Oh, I wonder why cats hate getting wet. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's because they've got lots of fur. Winnie dived into the water. It was such fun, but the water started to creep up the sand, up to Winnie's towel. Wilba jumped onto Winnie's beach umbrella. Meow, he cried. Then the sea picked Winnie up and turned her over 3 times and dumped her on the sand. The water washed over Winnie's towel and came halfway up Winnie's beach bag. Meow, cried Wilba. He didn't want to get wet. Oh dear, said Winnie. She shook some seaweed out of her hair. Don't worry, Wilba, we'll just move further up the beach. She picked up her beach bag, her towel. My broomstick, cried Winnie. Where's my broomstick? Oh my gosh, can you infer how Winnie might have felt that she can't find her broomstick? I think she was a little bit worried. She looked everywhere. No broomstick. Then she looked out to sea. There was her broomstick floating away. Stop! Winnie shouted, but her broomstick didn't stop. How will I get home, Wilba? Cried Winnie. Then she had an idea. She grabbed her beach bag, took out her magic wand, waved it 5 times and shouted, abracadabra, that's right. The broomstick stopped. Then it started to come back, but a surfer was in the way. Whoosh went the broomstick high up in the air and it landed on a whale. The whale didn't want a broomstick on its back. Whoosh went the broomstick high up in the air in a great spout of water. Splash! Winnie's broomstick had come back. Winnie was pleased. The other people on the beach were not pleased at all. They were very wet. Wilbur was not pleased either. He was very wet, very sandy, and rather squashed. Oh dear, Winnie said. We'd better go home, Wilbur. She packed everything up. Then Winnie and Wilbur zoomed into the sky. They were soon home again. It was still hot in Winnie's garden. Winnie still felt hot and tired. Then she had a wonderful idea. She took her magic wand out of her beach bag, shut her eyes, turned around 3 times and shouted, abracadabra. There in her garden was a beautiful swimming pool. Winnie dived in. She swam up and down and then she floated on her back. This is lovely, Wilbur, she said. It's much nicer than the seaside. Anything is nicer than the seaside, thought Wilbur. Can you explain? Why do you think they thought that the pool was nicer than the seaside? I think it might be because they couldn't get sand in between their toes. And of course, they're already at home, so they can have all their nice picnic. Fantastic. Did you like that story? Did you have a favourite bit? My favourite bit was when Winnie swam in the ocean. Some of my predictions at the start of the story was wrong. Were your predictions right? Fantastic. Thank you for listening to the story. Bye-bye.